Star receiver Michael Thomas will miss the team's next 4 games.
And Juan Kincaid joins us now with the very latest on this one.
Yeah, when the Saints take the field Sunday in Atlanta, wide receiver Michael Thomas will not be with the team. The team has placed him on injured reserve with an ankle injury, and he's set to miss with a knee injury, and he's set to miss the next 4 weeks of play. The injury happened in the team's November 12th loss at Minnesota on the Saints' second play from scrimmage. Thomas was hit on the knee and never played another down in that game. The team did bring back receiver Marquez Callaway yesterday to help with that unit, but Thomas's production will certainly be missed going forward. Also injured in that game, Derek Carr suffered a concussion. He's still in concussion protocol, but could be available depending on how he does in practice this week. And cornerback Marshawn Lattimore has an ankle injury. Dennis Allen said that he could miss some time going forward as well. Lauren?